Hello and welcome. Welcome. Hey, Nanani. The chat is not working. Let's see. Oh, let me get the stream manager up. Okay. It's always something. Hello, Louder360. Hello. Chat should come in soon, I hope. Hey, Nanani. Hello, and asks, how are you? At the moment, I'm quite poor. Because we're bombing Steam Next Fest. Hello, Lupercal. Let's see if I can get the chat to actually work. Docs, chat. Huh, I don't know why it's not. Yes, we're doing very poor. Okay, there finally comes in. Yeah, we're doing very poor right now. But there's nothing to be done but to get to work. Yeah, I would call it bombing. I would say bombing. We don't really know. I mean, every Next Fest is a little different. So it's possible that it's just a sort of low performing Next Fest in general for everybody. But I would very much doubt that. And it seems more likely that our game is just bombing, which I don't really understand. I don't understand it because it would be the first sign of failure out of the 4 years of our pre-release cycle. Everything we've done so far has given us good signs, like our announcement, 30,000 wish lists, IGN front page, tons of interaction, tons of coverage. Our demo launch, another 30,000 wish lists. Again, same thing, extremely strong feedback. Strong feedback from the demo, median review score on our feedback form of 9 out of 10. Median playtime is 52 minutes, which is, it's okay. It's pretty good. It's maybe a little lower than what I'd want it to be, but it's certainly not alarmingly bad. But so far, we are doing really bad in Next Fest, which I don't, we'll see. Louder says it could be due to all the new games coming out, so it's being drowned out. Well, there's like 4,500 games in Next Fest, and I think there was like a little under 4,000 games in the last one, so it's not really that different. Plus, there's a lot of new games coming out all the time, and many of them are rising to the top. Many of them are selling well. There's just as many, if not more, games selling well than there ever have been. So I don't really worry ever about getting drowned out necessarily. I'm not like, oh, we're getting drowned out. I mean, if we're getting drowned out, it just means we stink, right? It just means we can't beat out the other games. That's all it means. So I don't think it can't be that. No, there's no way it's that. But it's not over, but I'm preparing for the worst. Hey, Nani says, any initiative can't get a perfect score across all metrics. Yeah, I guess I put a lot of stock in Next Fest. I did. I really thought Next Fest was the big pre-launch test because Valve themselves say that Next Fest is a microcosm of Steam. And I just thought that, if you do well in Next Fest on all their algorithms, then it's a good sign that you're going to do well in Steam. And if you do really bad in Next Fest, that's not such a good sign. And yeah, there's of course, there have been a lot of other signs and so far they've all been good signs for us, and this is the first bad one. So it's very concerning. It's very alarming. But there's nothing to be done but to keep working on the game. Ryan JQ asks, what is your favorite sandwich? I don't know. I like Italian sandwiches. Looper Kyle says, let me be honest with you, as I always am, your game is probably not top 3 quality in the cozy genre. It will rise to the top. There's also Witch Spire entering early access launch last week. Well, no. Yeah, I don't know. In the cozy genre is very big. I don't think I'd ever guess we were top 3. Witch Spire. I've seen this game. But like this game's early access, so we're not even in the same this game's not even not doing Next Fest, right? Can you do Next Fest in early access? Maybe. I don't know.
For centuries, protected them. The fate of the worlds is in your hands.
Well, this is definitely a lot more crafty buildy than Glimmerwick, which I think does do better on Steam. So it wouldn't surprise me if this game outsold us.
The time has come, Chosen One. Together, we
Art
will
is
stop
not
this.
to my taste, but that's just my taste. It looks a little like kitschy to me, but that's just my own personal taste. I know that it's not necessarily what Steam has to say about it, but I'm not even talking about being top 3. I would like to be top 20 in Next Fest at this point. I mean, I don't know where we sit. See, I don't know because I haven't heard from any of the other really big games at Next Fest. I haven't heard from anyone with metrics better than ours. I don't think. Maybe has there been someone who had more wish lists on the first day? We got 550 wish lists on the first day, which is nothing. I mean, we get 150, 180 wish lists just on a nothing day for doing nothing. So, cozy game consumers go hard. Tivtag says maybe it is mostly nice weather and people are not playing so much. That could be it. It could be that whole entire Next Fest. See, the whole thing I'm basing this off of is like, how do we know we're not doing well? Well, basically, Chris Sikowski put out this tool which you can put in your metrics for the first day, and then it will basically extrapolate your performance throughout Next Fest. So if we're looking at this, if we're looking at diamond tier games, most diamond tier games are getting around 1,000 wish lists on their first day, and we've only got 552. So that's why I say we're bombing, because we're not even, I guess it's possible, like this, the diamond tier blue does go almost down to us. It seems to go like 600 or something. So we might do like one of these humps and sort of hug the bottom of it here. But to me, I felt like I drew the line in the sand at 10,000. And if we didn't get 10,000 wish lists, then I would call it we're bombing. We're at 1,100 for the day to day. There's still a few hours left. There's not that much time left, though. Maybe we get another 200 wish lists before the day is done. That might even be optimistic. I'm not sure. I'm going to ignore the impressions because they don't even do anything right now. So that puts us, I mean, we're not even passing the gold line. And the gold line is not the gold. Chris Sikowski's gold tier is not how much money we need to make. We need to make the diamond tier. So we are on this current trajectory, and it could just be this. Oh, by the way, these curves are based on February's Next Fest. So it's possible that the entire Next Fest performance is like just shifted down. That's totally possible. It's possible that the entire Next Fest performance, let's say, is 40% less than February, which would mean all these bars are shifted down and would put us in diamond tier again, probably. Actually, yeah, it really would put us like right in diamond tier, like if all this stuff was shifted down. But at the moment, it doesn't look like we're tracking to be in diamond tier, which is, yeah, we just don't have a lot of, we just haven't had any bad signs. I don't like the idea of having been delusional. And I guess that's what concerns me the most. I'm always hunting for any sign that this game is not going to perform what we think it will. And so far there have been no signs. This has been the only one. Everything has been going great. We've been, hitting all of the benchmarks. And now for this one Next Fest, I really expected to get between 10 and 20,000 wish lists. And it doesn't look like we're on track for 10,000. Hey, Nani says, which Spire looks meh to me? Someone I know is a partner. So I watched them play and cannot tell you how fast I lost interest. Okay, well, that's good to know. And Hey Nani has played Glimmerwick, so she knows Glimmerwick well. But yeah, different strokes. Yes, we had 150,000 wish lists before we went in, which is another reason why this is so surprising. Typically, the more wish lists you go into Next Fest with, the more wish lists you come out getting. And we are proving to be the exception. Lupercal says you have to consider that you already have 150,000 wish lists. The people that are most excited about the game have probably already wish listed it. So I thought about that as well, and it's possible. I don't want to reach for the copium, and I've always felt like Steam is basically infinite. Like success begets success. It's not like you've reached all the people that are going to play your game. That virtually never happens. Like Steam is so huge that the pool is infinite, and if you've had past success, whether that be wish lists or sales or whatever, all it means is you're going to continue having success, because the forces of interest that got you your last success are going to continue to be the same forces of interest that get you the more success. It's not like Steam is used up your entire pool. I mean, I guess it could be the case, but I guess we don't quite know. Louder says, odds are most of the people already wish listed. It's possible. But we don't, that's not normal behavior for Steam. Usually, every sign of good conversion, of good wish list, of good sales is just a sign that more is going to happen. Yeah, the most likely game to make $1 million, 3 months from now is the game that already made $1 million. That's just kind of how it works, because that game is proven that people want to buy it. It's proven that it's converting. It's proven that the machine is working for it and everything. So I don't know. Sometimes you just got to let the chips fall where they may. I know. It's fresh. It's fresh right now. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm being a little melodramatic, but it's fresh. It's fresh for me. This is our first sign. This is our first bad sign. And I'm not saying, it's all over or anything. Again, it's possible. We don't know the performance of the entire Next Fest at large yet. It's possible we're perfectly in the pack where we ought to be, where we would have, where I would have expected us to be relative to the other games. It's possible this whole random game thing that Steam puts the games, it orders them randomly for the first 2 days. And then based on your performance for the first 2 days, then it sort of ranks everyone on day 3. And this is only the second time that they've ever done that. It is possible, I heard someone speaking in the How to Market a Game server, they put forth the theory that basically everyone was curious about the Next Fest last time, and they all looked at the random game thing, and it sort of turned everyone off from it this time. Now everyone knows that the first 2 days are random games. Guys, random games on Steam like 90% of them are complete garbage and you don't even want to look at them. It's like just such trash. It's a waste of your time. You wouldn't want to download them and play them. So I guess it's possible that all the numbers are depressed from last Next Fest, especially for the first 2 days, but I just don't know. And that just, it reeks of copium to me. I've seen so many indies who have every warning sign and they're just keep on reaching for the copium. They're just like, oh, well, our game isn't going to get a lot of wish lists because we haven't done our marketing yet. Or our game isn't going to look like it's going to sell well because of X or Y. And then, oh, well, our game isn't going to do well in Next Fest because of this reason. And then lo and behold, the game comes out and it sells just like it looked like it was going to sell based on all of the signs that they saw pre-launch. And I just don't want to be one of those devs. So I just want to mentally prepare for the worst. I mean, it's a little late now, but, I would have really preferred if there were going to be warning signs of failure, then I really would have preferred to see them 4 years ago, maybe during announcement or something, instead of, peachy keen signs every time. But we'll see. Okay. Glimmerwick and Stardew, Animal Crossing, Fields of Mistra, Harvest Moon, Spiritfarer, Coral Island. A Tivtag says, I would stop overthinking and just build the best you can. That's right. Just got to get to work. Then we need to look at the Venn diagram between Glimmerwick and Eastshade players. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Lupercal says, I wouldn't call anything until at least tomorrow night. As you say, they tend to sort things out by then. Yeah. Manifest the success, the alpaca says. Lupercal says, I still think Glimmerwick has an amazing place. Oh, switch if you go in that direction. Yeah. We're going to try to port it, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. Not completely doom and gloom. I mean, there are some weird things about this graph too. I mean, I'm kind of basing a lot off this graph. Like one weird thing is that like this, it's telling me that the optimistic outcome for me is 7,000 wish lists total. But if I put in 1,200, or let's put in even less. Let's put in 1,000. Let's fill out the rest of the graph with numbers. So I'm looking at this graph and I'm just kind of following the graph here. So here we might put like 1,400. Look, okay, now it says 7,000 is the optimistic. Let's put another 1,000 here. Okay, that one was a little optimistic, so let's go down. Let's go 800. Let's just kind of follow the graph to the end here. Okay, that one was a little bit audacious. Let's go 700. And let's do one more. 700. 800. Something like that. Okay, so I pretty much followed out the graph and I guess it ended up being 6,500. Whereas if I delete all, and look, we pretty much followed the graph exactly. So we made a really realistic curve based on these other average curves. And if I delete all the data here back to our day one, it's telling me that it's estimating 5,000 now. Yet, as you guys saw, when I actually drew out the curve, pretty much exactly according to what these curves are, it's kind of weird that that we ended up in such a higher place than it's estimating if we just followed the curve that supposedly is how we're extrapolating. The only thing I can think of is if it's kind of using this silver tier curve to guess out the rest of the wish lists. But even if I put like low numbers, what if I put 800 in all the rest of these? Oops, I keep on accidentally typing stuff. Put 800 in all the rest. Look at that. See, look at how weird this is. Like, okay, it told me less than 5,000, and then I put 500 I put 800 for all the rest of the numbers. And look at how much worse our line is now. Like the white line is mine. So we actually gave ourselves a less generous extrapolation. Look, there's a big bump up here. We didn't do that bump here. Let's go even down more. Let's go like 500 for these little ones. Look how ungenerous a line we gave ourselves. It's like we expect it to be like the gold line, right? But we gave ourselves this horrible line that is doing something much worse than what the gold line is doing. And we still end up at the estimated amount, if that makes sense. So it's possible that this calculator is a little bit ungenerous about our about our extrapolation here. I don't know. But we'll see. But right now, I'm a little in the dumps. I'm very conservative when it comes to estimating things. So any sign of that this thing isn't going to work, I tend to freak out a little. So now you guys get to see me freak out. This is me freaking out. This is what a freaked out Daniel Weinbaum looks like. Trying to keep it together, folks. I'm just going to raise the rock a little bit here. And one thing we need to do now is quite important. We need to kick a build. But first we have this bug that we were trying to work on yesterday. I never fixed it. I haven't had any time to fix it. So let's continue with it. Let's put us in developer start settings. And then we were talking to this girl and we were getting this bug. Lupercal says, I think if you can make it to the front page for any of your tags, you're golden. Well. Oh, this is zoomed in. That seems, on our current wishlist trajectory for Next Fest, it's very unlikely that that will happen. Okay, so here's our bug. And it's this reset volume bug that I don't understand, that we were working on yesterday and I couldn't figure it out. Let's see. Oh, it's taking a long time to get out of play mode. Yeah, the craziest part about our Next Fest performance is how many wish lists we have going in. You would never expect a game to even, you wouldn't even expect it to be possible to perform so poorly, at least based on last year's, or not last year's, last February's metrics. Lupercal says, you were in the top demos for farming yesterday. Well, that's true, but as you can see, it didn't, I guess we were on the top for demos for farming. We're in that carousel, but yeah, I guess that's different than like front page. And it didn't break us. Like it, I mean, it didn't pop us really. We got like some wish lists, like 550 yesterday, and we're at over 1,000 today, but didn't like open the floodgates, so to speak. There's a lot of cool demos. There's a lot of cool games. So we need to get back to what's going on here. So we've got, double click this and let's open Visual Studio. Raquel says, could that be down to the new Steam changes? Maybe pre-entry wish lists don't count towards visibility now. It could. They apparently never have, or at least in February they didn't. Valve themselves said that your wish lists going into Next Fest don't matter. That's what they said. And I really believe them. I don't think Valve is lying to us. I don't think they have a reason to lie to us. I think they want the games to do well, and they want the smart studios who are listening to them to actually do the things that they're saying. Yeah, I trust them a lot. And they say that the wish lists going in don't count toward your visibility. Now, any game that already has 100,000 wish lists has already proven that it is in line with the forces of interest. So if you already got 100,000 wish lists, that means people are already impressed with your game when they find your page, which indicates that you're probably going to slay at Next Fest, right? Just because that's the dream. Every developer, every low-end developer wants, I wish they would just arrange the games randomly, right? So that my game could have a chance. And that is what they do in Next Fest. They literally arrange them randomly. It says right at the top, it says random. It tells you that they're arranged randomly, which is why there's so much trash. And it was already the case that it wasn't, they weren't giving a big boost to games that already had a lot of wish lists. Yet, nonetheless, the games that had a lot of wish lists tended to win out by the end of Next Fest, and they tended to be the ones to get the extra 10, 20,000 wish lists from Next Fest. And that is what I was hoping for. I was hoping that we would be one of the games that it looks like we should be based on our past performance. But as of one day, which is just one day of data, we're not on that trajectory. So it concerns me. It concerns me. Oh, right. So what line is this on? 326. So it's still telling me the source. So let me just do let me check out this file. Can speak. Let's put in a bunch of diagnostics here. I can put a breakpoint. Let me try to get better at using a breakpoint. Just right click on the line. Everyone's always like, why don't you use a breakpoint? Are you stupid? Okay, insert a breakpoint. Here, I've done it. I'm attaching this to Unity. Let's see. Let's see if we can make this work. And then I hit play. Thrashing Coyote, hello and welcome, says, were you guys part of the Wholesome Games Direct? I bet a lot of your target audience follows them. No, we were not. We didn't get into that showcase. We just did our own demo launch and it did amazingly well. We were on the front page of IGN and we got 30,000 wish lists in the span of like 6 weeks after our demo launch. Now it's been a little over 2 months since we launched our demo. Just like Valve recommends, right? For anyone who says, oh, you should have launched your demo right before Next Fest, then you would have had momentum. Just based on what Valve themselves recommend, they say launch your demo long before Next Fest, do a bunch of updates, make sure your demo is really good. That's really what matters. Having a good demo is what matters for Next Fest, having a good Steam page and a good demo. And that's what we did. So that's why we chose to launch it so long before Next Fest. We wanted to have as much time as possible, and we wanted to let Next Fest do its own boost, right? And Valve says that external stuff is not what drives Next Fest ranking. It's internal, which means that you shouldn't have to time a bunch of extra hoopla with the Next Fest. If we wanted to drive a bunch of traffic for Next Fest, we absolutely could have done so. We could have dropped our demo 3 days before Next Fest. We could have lined up all that stuff and we could have been getting, 3,000 wish lists a day. But Valve says that that is not what matters. So we got our 3,000 wish lists a day separate from Next Fest, if that makes sense. So I don't know. Hooper Cal says, can you check data for any similar games wish lists? No, I cannot. Not accurately, not like for 1 day of wish lists, which is what we're looking at here, to extrapolate the rest of Next Fest. I mean, I could personally ask them, I suppose, but I don't know. That feels a little bit grubby. Plus, I just need to chill and wait. I mean, that's probably a better use of my time, just to get to work and just see what happens, right? Because there's nothing to do about it right now. The Alpaca says, just checked out the trailer. The game looks really neat. Wish you great success. Thanks so much, Alpaca. That's very kind of you. And welcome, by the way. Welcome to the chat and hello. And thank you for checking out Songs of Glimmerwick. Really appreciate that. Chill and wait when you have no chill sounds hard. Yes, I know. I'm not a chill man. Oops, my glasses just looking way worse. Okay, all right. So let me see. I put a breakpoint. Let's do it. All right, here's the breakpoint. So what do we got? So the audio source is null. This is child 2's can speak. Now, why is the audio source null? I just don't understand that. Doesn't tell us much. Wait, step back through the code. Well, the initial volume is 0. Yeah, okay, well, I don't really know how that's happening, but we'll just stop it, and we'll put like I guess I'll call it a shit catcher, where we're just, if it's null, then we're gonna get the component, because we know that that should be the component, so. The Alpaca says, I was wondering how much the full version is gonna be on Steam price. We don't really know the price exactly, but we're thinking 25. Which is not an official announcement. That's just secret for you guys for the stream. That's what we're thinking. 30 seems dangerous. Lupercal says, I get how you feel. You have high standards and have a lot invested. Yeah, exactly. I think your release will have a very high conversion rate and you will wonder why you were worried. Well, I appreciate that, Lupercal. That's it's nice to hear. Hey, Nani says, probably, maybe, definitely under 50 USD. Yes, we will not price our game at 50 USD. That would be slightly psychotic. Let's go into this and remove the breakpoints. And I guess we'll just say like, what? You're trying to edit read-only files. Okay, let's get the can speak and let's check it out. And looking at the source, it just says start, get component audio source. I don't know why it would be null at this point. It's like something is making the audio source null. I guess I'll just go like, if the source is null, and this is probably not a good idea, but then source equals get components audio source. But it should work for us. I don't talk about the release date in this house. We don't talk about the release date. I mustn't. We won't mutter a release date until we have the release date. Oh man, I was reading the Witchbrook in the Witchbrook subreddit today. They're so angry. They are so mad about the lack of Witchbrook coming out. Okay, so there's no error, but there's also nothing happening.
And you seriously believe that? Fairies aren't even real. These are just dumb mushrooms.
So we have a bug with this kid. He's not working.
You seriously believe?
I'm gonna have to give this to Jenny. You know what I bet is happening? I bet we're getting the wrong child too. That's gotta be it. I bet there's 2 child 2s in this scene. I bet that's what's messing us up. There's like a bunch of child 2 in this scene. And that is definitely what's messing us up. So let's see, mushroom class parents. That's fine. So we know that there's a bunch of child 2s in here. But I'm looking for one that should be like active. So there's the ones in this group, which hopefully are not a problem. But there's another child too right here. Okay, so it's this, but he should be inactive too. So I'm starting to understand the issue here. Do we need to point to a very specific child two? We have so many child twos. How do we know which one is the correct one? We're getting the wrong child two. I know that. So I don't exactly know what to do about that. Do we have to name each child two uniquely? I don't think that's how we've been doing it. But maybe that's how, I don't know. I've got to think about this. Let me see how many child twos are active while the scene is running. That would be important. Okay, let's see. Ryan JQ says, where do you talk about it then? How will you know it's ready to be released? When we are very confident that we are going to hit a particular day, when we're like, you know, the game is completely content complete and we're crunching bugs, and we've already had testers, you know, get all the way through it, and maybe like, I don't know, 1 or 2, let's say between 1 and 3 months out, as little as 1 month, then we can confidently know, okay, this is the release date, do or die. We're putting it out on this day. Then we can announce a release date. There's also the question of the release date is ammunition. People will cover that. If you announce it, you have a chance to cover it. You can also offer it. So you can go to a publication and you can say, we have not yet announced our release date. We have 150,000 wish lists. Everyone's dying to know the release date. Will you cover us if we tell you our release date? That's basically, if we let you break our release date, will you cover us? And that works for festivals, it showcases, and coverage. So one of the reasons why no professional game developer will just randomly tell a gamer the release date is because they've completely wasted a critical piece of ammunition when they do that. That they can use as a chip. They can use that as leverage to get more coverage with some other publications. So I know gamers just want to know the release date, but the fact that they're so desperate to know is actually valuable, and we don't want to throw that value in the trash. As developers, we don't have a lot of valuable things. It's very expensive and time-consuming to make things that are valuable. So we're talking about content, trailers, you know, behind-the-scenes videos, information about the game, sort of whatever it is that you can put out pre-release. It's so expensive to make it. So we want to be very precious about our ammunition. We don't want to waste it. And that would just be wasting it. If we just, you know, here's when we're releasing with no other hoopla, and especially if we didn't really know for sure if that was our date, then it is not a good PR tactic. Hey Nanani says, did it get delayed again? No, but they just haven't said anything, which is driving everyone insane. Yeah. Which is funny because, I mean, everyone, I saw so many people being like, they're so bad at marketing. They're so bad at marketing. They haven't said anything. They have no information about the game. And it's so funny because they're so not bad at marketing because they have an entire subreddit that is literally waiting with bated breath. So it's just like, it's so funny what consumers think is the story versus what publishers and PR people think is the story. They probably think they're doing great. I mean, they are doing great. They have over 1 million wish lists. So, let's see. The Alpaca says the game looks really polished. I think $25 would be good compared to other games. Okay, well, that's great to know. We definitely want to be a good value proposition. And the game should be really long. We think it's going to be over 30 hours, so I think it'll be a long game. The main Stark, hello and welcome, says, how is the dev grind going today? It's going okay. Too many second children. That's right. Never have too many second children. Lubrical says, I have a feedback for the clothes shop. The clothes prices seem random instead of increasing as you move along the selection. Yeah, I guess they are a little random, but we don't really know what the most high value clothing is. It's like the clothes aren't really like a higher level or anything, so I don't know. The main Stark says, are you worried about the October to February window to release as an indie? Our publicist is very worried about about busy release windows. She's always looking for a date that is clear. I am less so, personally. I know Chris Sikowski has an article on how basically other releases basically do not affect your indie release. At least there's no data to support that it does. It seems hard to believe that, you know, the waves aren't getting a little bit crowded if there's another big release, but mostly we would just really prefer to be like, if we can help it, you know, it would be nice to be the biggest thing releasing on the day we release in that genre. So we don't want to release next to another life sim or something like that. We certainly don't want to release next to Witchbrook or something if we can help it. But I don't know when Witchbrook is going to come out. I think that they're going to do a quick cycle. I've said that on the stream before. I think that they're going to do like a, you know, we're releasing in 1 month sort of thing. That's what I think they're going to do, personally. Louder says, Witchbrook, they keep saying things on their Discord and not being transparent. The devs are basically trolling. Yeah, I mean, they have so many wish lists. It's like you can start a riot by muttering a single thing. So they're probably just like, we're just not going to say anything. We're just going to work on the game. And then when the game is ready, I mean, there's no pressure to release for them. Like, why, you know, why rush it? They have such brand equity. They have so many wish lists. They should just make sure the game is good. And, I mean, it's taken us almost 8 years to make this game. They have more resources, sure, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe they could be taking their sweet time. It's not hurting them to do so. So it's not like the people are losing interest. I mean, the second they snap their fingers, everyone was going to dance for them. Oh, I hear some owls in the game. Hey, Nan, he says, yeah, they are not bad at marketing. People are stupid. It is funny seeing things from my angle, seeing the plebes speak about things, as it were. I don't mean that in a completely derogatory way, but just in general, like, people really do not think about things from any perspective other than their own. So, like, from their perspective, they're bad at marketing because they're not giving them what they want. Of course, that's not the goal of marketing. The goal of marketing is to make you really interested, which they certainly have done. So it's really funny. Kate, hello, welcome. Kate says 30 hours for main story only. I think probably 30 hours for kind of more of a completionist play. We don't have a lot of meat grinder stuff in the game, though. We don't have like a lot of collect 500 tentacles or whatever stuff. So 30 hours to do all the quests, all the hand-authored quests in the game, is what I think is going to be. I'm sure people are going to be able to find how to spend way more time in the game, because we've seen people with like 50 hours in Eastshade. To us, Eastshade's a 12-hour game, but we saw lots of people spend over 20 hours in Eastshade. So it takes us, like Jacqueline or myself, we take over 22 hours to play Glimmerwick all the way through, and we try to do everything. Whenever we play the game, we try to do everything. So we know where everything is. We know exactly how to do everything. I mean, we're trying to get through it. We're time is money for us, so we're really trying to like do all the content as fast as we can. And it still takes us 22 hours, and it's an adventure game. So the difference between, you know, knowing where everything is and not knowing where everything is could be like, you know, something that takes us 10 minutes could take somebody else an hour. So It could be much longer. We have not had anybody outside the studio finish the game yet. That's happening right now. We've got internal QA playing through the game. So we'll see what it ends up looking like. Alpaca says the high-level clothing gives my gamer brain dopamine. Yeah, I hear ya. Hey, Sad Music Man, welcome, welcome. Ryan JQ says a lot of indie films get released right alongside big movie studio blockbusters. Yeah, they're kind of in different lanes, aren't they? Hey, Nani says, I can name more upcoming indie releases than I can AAA ones. Yeah, well, I guess that makes sense. There's like probably for every one AAA release, there's probably like 1,000 indies. But I know what you mean. Cal says, what's your opinion on releasing with discount versus saving discounts for second bump? You gotta release with a discount. You just gotta do it. How big of a discount, I don't know, but I think you gotta release with discounts. Look at Silk Song, radio silence for 7 years, then announced it was releasing in 6 weeks and broke Steam. Yeah, exactly, exactly. When you have so much hype, the rules change for you. You can do whatever you want. The main Stark says games take time and you only get one major launch. Yeah, that's right, that's right. Hey, Koya Koopa, welcome, welcome. Yeah, none of that 45 resin stuff. Ryan JQ, kind of want to play East Shade again right now. All right. Kate says, I found myself a bit bored when playing games for 40 plus hours. But from what I saw in the demo, I have a feeling I would crave more. All right, good, good. Yeah, we think it's a very authored game. It's just like a burning star. We put all our resources into what we believe is a smaller amount of time. So, are you excited for speedrunners to break your game? I don't mind speedrunners at all. Yes, I always welcome whatever meta games people want to play within our game. That's fantastic. The more hoopla, the more people interested in our game, the better. Hey, Broadleaf Digital, welcome, welcome. I am working live. That's right. I'm trying to anyway. Speaking of working, I wanted to look at how many child 2s we have active. We only have one child 2 active, and that is the one that we are actually supposed to be using. So I'm going to turn them off and then turn them on. I'm going to see if that fixes our bug. It didn't. So I really wonder which child 2 is actually being...
And you seriously believe that?
I don't want to put the band-aid on of like naming this child uniquely, but it seems like that might be the only way to do it. I don't think we have any other situations in the game where we have different NPCs who are the same exact name. So I think I'm just gonna have to name them separately. And yeah, we'll see if that works. But I have to get some water, so I'm gonna be right back. Oh boy. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay. And let's see. All right. Sorry if anyone is still around. Hello. Sorry for taking so long. I had foreign matters to tend to, such as life. So I was going to rename this child. Rename the child. I could call him Spring, Child 2 Spring. Or like, yeah, I could go like Child 2 Class Spring. Call him that. And then I think if I just copy that and paste it into our conversation, which we've never had to do before because we haven't had so many child. It's weird though that it worked in other situations. There should, in theory, be a way to fix this based on whoever's the active one. The problem is that it's using the game object finder, but there's a lot of objects called child 2. So I wonder, like, oh, it's because we're using the awake callback. And then it never sort of unregisters itself. So that's why. That's why we're having this issue. It's just the way the system was designed. And I wonder if we could fix it by like doing an on enable sort of thing. I'm pretty sure we could. Let's add a little code. Let's make some computer code. I think that this should be very fixable. I don't see why I should have to do this. Let's keep it child 2. And I've never done this before, and I'm sure there's a reason I haven't done this. But I'm going to have a little confidence here and give it a shot. So I'm going to try to mitigate regression bugs by making this a checkbox. So I'm going to add, first of all, I'm going to check out the game object finder class, and we're going to use a bool unregister on disable, and we're going to have that false by default. Or maybe we should call it like register on enable disable. Okay. We're going to say used for NPCs with the same name. Or I'll say used for automatons with the same name who are controlled by bool activators. And then what I'll do is we'll have a on disable, and we'll also have an on enable. I guess one, well, yeah. And this could be an issue. This is going to be a situation where like whoever was last to be enabled. Yeah. Let's just call this register on enable. And let's ignore the disable case. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically search the dictionary. So if try get value, well, should we use try get value? If dictionary contains a key for the game object.name, which is this object's name, Then we're going to do dictionary game object dot name dot value. Oh, no, we just say literally equals. I'm pretty sure it's just the game object itself, right? This is a dictionary of game objects. Yeah. Then we're going to sort of overwrite it. 1 second. Okay. Just a sneeze. I'm so allergic. Okay, let's see. Mossville Studios says demo call, you gotta try a demo called Iron Nest inside a giant tank simulator. It's great. I've heard of Iron Nest. That's really doing numbers right now. I think it has over 400,000 wish lists. It's absolutely dominating. I watched the trailer. I was a little surprised. I didn't quite fully understand the appeal on the level that it's getting. I think it looked great, but I didn't see it being like a 400,000 wish list thing. I know that of course, I have a particular taste, as everyone does, but usually, even if something is not to my taste, I can kind of see why it's going viral. And for that one, I couldn't. And that sort of, it bugs me. It bugs me when, not when a game does well, it bugs me when I don't understand why it's doing well, because I want to be able to understand these things. It feels like I'm maybe out of touch. And then I worry, that I don't have a good finger on the pulse of the taste of gamers and the taste of Steam. So yeah, I didn't quite understand that one, unfortunately. But it seemed very fresh, and I'm glad that things are going great for them. Hey, Senjuni, hello, hello. Danvis says, I have no idea what's going on, but it seems wildly unintuitive. Are you talking about my stream, or are you talking about the Iron Nest game? Broadleaf Digital says, have you worked with Odin's Inspector or Serializer? No, we try not to add too many plugins. We basically work mostly with vanilla Unity for the most part. Mossville Studio says, honestly, I didn't think I would like it, but try it and you'll understand. Okay, so it's a game it's one of those games that if you play it, playing it is believing it. And that's great. That's fantastic. Maybe I should try it. Oh, I'm talking about the coding never made any sense to me. Gotcha. Yeah, code is a little rough if you're not a coder. Okay, so we're just replacing the game object with the current game object. And I don't know if this is actually going to work, but we'll give it a shot. It just depends on the execution order. Oh, while Unity's compiling, we'll just sneak on over and check our wish lists real quick. They have not updated, so it's still 1100. All quiet on the Western Front. So we're still going up with gone down a little bit now. Oh, there's only 24 players right now, so we have gone down. But the concurrent players, we're kind of drifting up for a bit here. I mean, definitely better than day one. Okay. I think I can do this, right? I can do this on, these are all just public forum things. I'm just reading our threads. I'm trying to stay on top of our threads, at least during Next Fest. This is true. This is probably true. This person is saying not a good idea to use the name as the file name. This is true because you can put funny characters in there. You can also name the game whatever you want, but yeah, we should probably come up with a solution for that. All right. Anyway. Broadleaf Digital says, "What's the main goal for today, or are you just going through bits and pieces?" I've got our Trello. Well, our Trello's not even up. Wow. Whoops. And I have all of these items here in this list. Danny content. And right now we've got these outdoor class seasonal kids, and they sort of change their arrangement every season, and they change their conversations. And right now I'm just making sure that all their conversations work. And we just had a bug with one of the conversations that needs fixing. Once I fix this bug, I also need to kick a build. So it's very piecemeal, everything. I need to kick a build because the localizers are testing the game and they're having some issues right now. So I need to kick a new build for them. But I don't want to kick it with this bug because I know that this bug is a 100% situation. So I think for this child 2, we're going to get child 2. Oh, and the other thing I want to do is make sure I've sunk, because yesterday I made a bunch of changes and I'd forgotten to sync, but it looks like we've sunk now. So we're smarter than yesterday. And I just want to make sure that the game object finder for all these child 2 are have the register on enabled checked. And then I'll go ahead and save the exterior world. It's Smallball says, "I think Iron Nest has also a great fantasy. Didn't know about it prior to this stream, though I'm instantly intrigued, even without watching the trailer." Gotcha. Yeah. That's okay. That's true. The fantasy is kind of fresh and understandable. It reminds me of that that other turret game that has a really long name, PVKK. You guys seen this one as well? This is Renee's studio, who I've interacted with a little bit. The name of the game is this super long German word, where you also control a turret, planetary defense cannon. I actually listened to someone saying this, and it's not that hard. There's probably a German in the stream. It's like Planetenverteidigungskanonen-Kommandant. Planetenverteidigungskanonen-Kommandant. That's not that hard to say, actually. If there's any Germans, let me know how I did. Danvis says, "Loved Eastshade though, so the code seems to work. Been waiting for the next one since then, and so happy I'm able to catch a dev stream." Well, thank you for dropping by. I appreciate it. Sorry the stream is a little dry. It's a real game dev stream where we just literally work on the game, and it can be kind of like watching paint dry. But I appreciate you dropping by. Broadleaf Digital says, "Lock in, my man, get the work done." Aaron Montero says, "Can't wait to play it. I'm a solo dev myself, suffering to make an MMO with Unity." Wow, that is a tall order. Wish you the best of luck with that. So let's see if we've fixed the bug. I'm actually going to go back to our can speak components. We've got a bunch of stuff. Actually, I'm going to close all but this. And I'm going to get rid of this thing. I'm just going to let it make the bug. And hopefully we fixed it, but we'll see. Danvis says that I did pretty well. All right. All right. Very pleased to hear that. You dropped by at the perfect time, Danvis, to critique my German for me. Appreciate that. Okay, so let's see. Did we fix it? No, we didn't. So we got the null reference exception. So that means we still are having issues with the can speaks being executed out of order. Or at least we're getting this reset volume. Why don't you ping for me debug log, and I just want you to tell me what game object you are. That would be helpful. TivTax says, are you not using AI for coding / debugging? I'm not using AI for anything. I'm not using AI for a single thing. There is no way an AI would be able to tell me what the source of this code was. None. Because it has nothing to do with the code and everything to do with the objects in the scene and the execution order of everything. AI is dumber than a rock. I feel like AI maybe is useful for people who are trying to hack something together who don't really know how to code. But I am an AI skeptic, and I'm a bit of a Luddite. So, okay, why are we opening our inventory? So, okay, so I've clicked it, and now we should have got the game object ping. Why are you not... Dude. Oh, I think... Okay, I know what happened. I know. I did the ping thing wrong. What we need to do is pass in ping and then pass the game object as the second argument, and that will make it so that it actually pings the game object. So let's try that. Broadleaf Digital says, have you looked into Rider? No, I don't really mess with the IDE much. I find it, honestly, Visual Studio is impressive. I mean, I'm not really a coder, but the first time I opened Visual Studio and I saw all the things you could do in it, I was already like, oh, cool, this is awesome. And I just kind of never really putzed around too much. I don't really identify as a coder, and I try not to do too much code. Jenny is our lead coder now, and she writes most of the code. So, but I just want to fix this bug so that I can kick this build. Aaron Montero says, Fable 5 made me GTA 7. I don't know what it means. I don't. TimTac says, you should try Fable 5 once it becomes available again. What happened with Fable 5? I don't know the story. The emphasis fully support the AI skepticism, but it would make a pretty entertaining video to try having AI write bug fixes and see how catastrophically it fails. Yeah, I just don't think it can do anything useful. I really don't. I haven't seen it. Broadleaf Digital asks, what would you say your main role in the project's roles are? Yeah, this is a good question, actually, because I mean, definitely executive producer is my role. Like I do the sort of overarching planning for the whole game, and I do like all the business stuff, and I'm sort of the PR. I'm the front man for the studio and everything, and I'm the owner of the studio, and I'm the founder of the studio. But for Glimmerwick, sometimes I don't know quite how to categorize myself. I almost think I'm more of a tech artist than anything. But I do a lot of stuff, like a lot of different stuff. Like, what are we doing right now? We're setting up the markup for the different groups in the world. So we kind of did a little bit of art to place them, but now we're sort of fixing a bug. I mean, I started out doing all the code too. We didn't hire Jenny until a few years in, but now that she's been with us for, I think right around 4 years and change, she sort of moved into the lead programmer role, which has been fantastic. Maybe like technical director and executive producer, but executive producer sounds kind of, I don't know, it doesn't sound like I do that much, but I do make a lot of check-ins, so I'm working on the game a lot. So let's see if it pings the game object now. The US blocked Fable 5 because it is too dangerous. Is Fable 5 a game or an AI? Kind of an everything man. I'm sure that there's a job title for what I do. Okay, so now hopefully we got the ping. There we go. So it's this child too. It's the one under the tree. I wonder why. It must have been the last one in the execution order. Let me do it next frame. I bet that will help. Yeah, I'll have the ES invoke wait until next frame. Aaron says, I won't lie, I do use Claude a lot because being solo dev, I can do a bunch of stuff and 100% of the code. I don't like the backlash at agents because they're really useful for solos. Well, we'll see. I feel like the first half of game dev is sort of the easy part, and it's the end that's the hard part. So it might help you, it might accelerate all your early code and your early implementation, but we'll see if that holds true to the end. Because when they say the last 10% is 90% of the work, it's true. It's really true. Yeah. Like Songs of Glimmerwick, looked like we already had a really huge vertical slice, basically just a few years in. And now we've just been, grinding, polishing everything and fixing bugs and doing all the content and stuff. So I tend to feel like AI code makes the easy parts of coding easier and it makes the hard parts of coding harder. But when it comes to coding a big game or really any piece of software, in my opinion, the hard parts are the only part that matter. The easy parts are easy. They're not your bottleneck. So it's not going to be an issue. It's the hard parts that is virtually all your production bottlenecks are going to be. So I don't like that. I don't like the idea of using AI to sort of optimize to make the easy parts easier. I feel like that just makes the true crux of my issues more nightmarish. But we'll see. I mean, it doesn't seem like AI is making people more productive yet. That's why everyone calls it a bubble. But if AI does make you more productive, then of course, not just solo devs would want to use it. Everyone would want to use it. Like, we don't want to waste, we don't want to be inefficient just because we have 3 developers at Eastshade Studios doesn't mean we just want to throw away time and money. If it really helped, then we would be inclined to use it. But I just don't know if it does. So, and maybe we'll find one day that it does. But from where I'm sitting, it doesn't seem like we're there yet. I'm going to comment that out, and then I'm going to go back to that game object finder. H. Potch says, I'm currently enrolled in HKU Game School when we only do short projects. I'm curious, do you always make a set in stone stable version of features, or do you adjust things a lot? No, you're definitely iterating throughout the whole development for sure. Sometimes you even add a feature really late in development. TipTac says, for the 1 hour I could use Fable 5 for, I was really surprised how smart it is. Okay, so it's a coding helper agent. Hey, Nani mentions, a ton of solo devs have made amazing games without AI. This is true. Very true. Kate says, we got an update on NextFest stats for today. Oh, yes. So I did a bit of crying at the beginning of the stream where I was telling the sad tale of how we're basically, so far it looks like we're bombing NextFest, but it's possible that everybody is bombing NextFest, which means that nobody's bombing NextFest. It's possible it's just a low NextFest. And people in the chat, we were talking about theories as to what really could be going on. But the leading theory is just that our game is not doing well. But yeah, we're not doing too great on NextFest. I mean, it's not like the worst stats in the world, but it doesn't look like we're tracking to get. I really want to get 10,000 wish lists for NextFest, and it doesn't look like we're on that path. So it's not good news so far. Hey, Nani says, a few streamers who do NextFest streams are live/going live now. Gotcha. Yeah, we've actually been featured in a couple of really big YouTube videos already for like top demos in NextFest, but it's nothing's really moving the needle. And I don't really think that stuff should move the needle. I don't think external traffic moves the needle much for NextFest. At least it shouldn't. Because if it does, then we would all be kind of changing our PR strategies. Because Valve recommends that you launch your demo well before NextFest. If external traffic was heavily weighted for NextFest, that would be suicidal to do. You would definitely want to launch your demo right before NextFest. You would have the best shot at dominating NextFest. The other theory is that NextFest does weight external traffic, but NextFest in general just doesn't really matter that much. It's possible that whatever traffic feels like we should have gotten for NextFest, we already got when we launched our demo. So like when we launched our demo, we were in the top demos. We were literally the #1 top demo for a few days. And we were in a bunch of other carousels. And we got some internal Steam traffic. So maybe that was our shot right there. And it wasn't a bad outcome. I mean, we got 30,000 wish lists. So, if we had gotten 30,000 wish lists for NextFest, we'd be pumping our fist. We'd be like, hell yeah, we got 30,000 wish lists. That was a great NextFest. So I thought we could kind of double dip. Like I thought that we could launch our demo and then have a great demo launch and then have a NextFest and then have it do its thing. Because Valve's own messaging on NextFest seems to be, this is not something you have to time a bunch of PR stuff for. You can't really change your trajectory that much. It's really just about your game. It's about your store page. It's about your demo, the quality of your demo, people playing your demo. And that is how to make it to the top of NextFest. So that's why we did it the way we did it. But we'll see. Danva says, anything we can do to help with NextFest? You're very kind. Appreciate you. The only thing is, if you haven't already, just to wishlist the game and to download the demo, potentially play the demo if you haven't already. But other than that, and that's already tons, and we're really grateful for it. But yeah, I don't think there's too much that can be done. Maybe tell your friends about the game, but that's not even necessarily a NextFest thing. That's just a general thing. Of course, it's always going to help us. We can try laughing the demo right before NextFest. Next time, wait, what? I don't get it. Oh, launching. Yeah. I mean, if that's how to make it to the top, again, I don't know if that would have given us more wishlist or not. I don't. We wouldn't have even known how well. See, if we had launched our demo right before Next Fest, we would have gotten our 30,000 wishlist. We would have been like, hell yeah, that was perfect. Everything went great. We wouldn't have even have known that it wasn't even Next Fest that did that for us. We would have thought it was, because it's almost impossible to tell where the traffic is coming from, because everyone just directly types in Songs of Glimmerwick. So it's so funny because, yeah, we totally would have thought, wow, Next Fest, we're doing great. We got 30,000 wishlists from Next Fest. But since we launched our demo 2 months ago, we got 30,000 wishlists all on our own. We didn't need Next Fest for it. So who knows? Who knows? Hey, Shady Lulin, welcome back. Long time no see. Missed the Game Dev streams. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for dropping by. Danvis says, I have not done that yet. I'll go do that right now. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Super busy with work recently, so I haven't had time until now. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoy the demo. If you do play it, appreciate that. Kate says, good luck to you. I believe the game will do an extra spike on the launch. Well, hopefully we spike on the launch. If we don't spike on the launch, then this is all over, baby. This is, that would be career ending. Hopefully we have a nice, big, healthy spike on the launch. Okay, so I wanted to open the game object finder, and the thing I wanted to do is just delay. Could do a scaled invoke. I could just do like a next frame. Let's just do next frame. And then we're just gonna register this next frame. It's to solve execution order stuff on first frame when things are activating / deactivating. Okay. Hey, now Nani says, I'm going to bully my TNT group. Oh, you're too kind. Thank you for that. It's mall cells. Would be interesting in how you split up your work, especially during this phase, this end phase now. Changes in the beginning seem so clear and focused, while polishing in the end feels like a never-ending story. Yes, it's definitely never-ending. Kate says, your game could be classified as cozy-ish genre. And what I recently noticed is cozy gaming YouTube space, all the biggest creators are about sponsored videos now. Yeah, there's a lot of sponsored stuff for sure. Kate says content creators would rather do a sponsored video than a video about the game they like. At least it's how it seems to me. Yeah, I know. I don't like the sponsored world. I understand it. I get it, because it's like, YouTuber, it is so freaking hard to make money on YouTube. Like, it is so hard. With, like, we have a video with over 2 million views on YouTube, and the money we get from ads on a video with over 2 million views, which is really a lot of views. That's like mainstream YouTube. That's like you could like think of a mainstream YouTube channel. If they got a video with 2 million views, that's like a solid video for them, and we're just nobodies. But we got like probably $3,500 from ad revenue on that video, which is nothing. It's nothing. That's not even enough to hire like one editor if you wanted to. It wouldn't even be close to enough to make a living unless you could crank out videos that make, that get 2 million views like every 2 weeks or something, which is completely insane. So you would have to take a bunch of sponsorships in order to make any money. In the video game space, the people making a lot of money are actually the developers. We have a clear way to monetize. We just sell the game, and the world of premium games is very lucrative. So I think it makes sense that the YouTubers and content creators in general are sort of attaching themselves to our revenue. Like they would need a piece of that game dev money, and one of the only ways to do that is just to go to the studios themselves and take the sponsored stuff. So I kind of get it. But yes, I think it sucks. It sucks for YouTubers because they're just doing a bunch of sponsored shit. I don't even think they want to be doing that. And then it sucks for the gamers too because they're just getting, you're just watching an ad. It's really a bummer. I really hate the ones that are like, you know, if you sponsor me, you pay me money and I'll review your game. And it's like, are you insane? Like even if they say I'll give my honest review, I don't want your honest review if I'm giving you money. Can you imagine if you were a game studio and you paid someone like 15 grand? They charge a lot, really. It's very expensive. The high powered ones, the ones that have like lots of subscribers, they charge tens of thousands of dollars. Can you imagine paying someone 15 grand for them to shit on your game? It would be unthinkable. It's like, that would be the worst thing in the world. So it's a horrible situation. It just doesn't make any sense. Isaac says, will the game be available on GeForce Now as a Mac user? That's how I play. I checked the box. On eShade, I also checked the box, but people say they can't play it on GeForce Now. So I don't know what the deal with that is. But I would like it to be available on GeForce Now. I think that NVIDIA has to do something to allow me in on that. They're all going to be confused by the request, but we'll see. Yeah, YouTube keeps making it harder. Yeah, I don't know. Danva says, I first found your game on Game Pass. How did that affect sales? Game Pass itself did not really affect our sales on Steam, which is kind of awesome. And Kate says, I understand the creators. Surely you can't make as much revenue from ads as from sponsorships, but it also mutated game review space by a lot, not in a good way. I totally agree. Okay, let's talk to her. So we've got, yeah, so we still have this issue. So that delayed invoke did not fix it, which is really surprising to me. It's really surprising. What if we just, I don't know. Huh. We could do like scaled invoke, and then we could do like a full 0.1 seconds. That's the last thing I'll try, and then I just have to go back to renaming. This is, bug is really wasting a lot of my day here. Plus I keep gabbing, so focus. I seem to be gabbing more lately. On streams, I used to do very little gabbing and mostly working. Now it seems like I'm 50-50. I can gab, and I want to respond to everybody's. The stream is small enough to where I can read everyone's chat message. I feel like if I ignore the chat, it kind of defeats the purpose of streaming. Okay, I'm just waiting for Unity to come back. I think that the trick is I need to respond more efficiently. So still respond, but respond more efficiently. That's what I think the trick is. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's see what happens now. Okay, so it still didn't work, but we didn't get a, oh no, we did get an error. Yeah, this is crazy. It's just not working. Huh. You can't drive and talk at the same time? Wow. I thought I had a one-track mind. I'm not very good at coding and talking at the same time. There's a lot of stuff I can definitely do and talk at the same time, especially art stuff. But yeah, I'm not debugging this very efficiently. But I'll tell you what, this is clearly not working. I'm going to get rid of all this on enable stuff. I'm going to get rid of this register on enable. Wait. Whoa. Did we have register on enable checked? Because that would really mess things up. Oh no, come on. Register on enable. I might have changed the name. I just want to make sure that it's actually enabled. The register on enable. Oh God, Unity, you take so long to compile. It's absolutely insane. Mossville says, did you consider a feedback form at the end of the demo? We have a feedback form. It's in the Steam boards. You can get to it in the Discord. But yeah, we've got a feedback form that you can fill out. Okay, so register on enable is checked. It just wasn't working. Very good. So let's do that. Let's get rid of this. Save. Go back. Nothing we're doing is working, so I think we just have to rename everyone. Unity's just taking forever. Everything I do, just taking forever. Evelina, thank you so much. As technical 3D artist, cool, awesome. That's really exciting. Currently interning at an indie studio. All right. Well, thank you for dropping by the stream. And thanks for your kind words. So we simply have to rename this to class spring. Let's just do a sanity check here and change the name that we're looking for, child 2 class spring, and then we'll save that. Does Unreal take generally longer? I have to imagine it does.
I don't think you should be jumping on those. My grandma said the fairies will get mad if you mess with their toadstools.
And you seriously believe that?
Okay.
Fairies on.
So that works now. So we needed a unique name. I failed the sanity check. Which sanity check is that? Okay, so we just need each child 2 to have its own name here. Class fall. Class summer. Gosh, and we're gonna have to do it for every single one, because they all have the same sort of. I guess we only have to do it if we're gonna use a lot of third speaker calls, which, oh no, this is gonna be a nightmare. It's actually a hard problem. I just want to keep going with this. I didn't realize this is going to be such a hard problem, because we definitely have conversations where we want to use the third speaker, but they could be in any arrangement. One thing I can think of. No, how are we going to do this, man? How are we going to do this? Are there... Oh boy. Why is this not working? I don't understand. Really don't understand. So we're definitely going to have conversations that involve oh man. They're going to involve like a bunch of these kids, but all these kids are going to have different names, so they're going to be different NPCs. So that means we need the third speaker. The third speaker just needs to find the available. I do think fixing it in code is the way to do it. Let me go to that metadata processor and check this out. I can't, this is going to burn my entire day. It's like, okay, let's go. Third speaker. So, oh, what is this? Get third speaker name. What is this? Who's using this? Okay. Check node for speaker. I suspect it looks like Jenny's already made something like this. I would like to know where we're using this. Check node for speaker. So where are we using check node for speaker? We're using it in a couple different places. We're using it in set all convo speakers. Okay, and this is in the conversation file. So I wonder about this. Okay, this is definitely something that we are using in the conversations. Check node for speaker. Get third speaker name. Let me search game wide for this. Search convos. There's a search pattern, and I don't know, is it going to, let me see, will it search the metadatas? I don't actually know if it will. Okay. What did you find? You found nothing? Nothing in your search? Search completed. So you didn't find anything. So let's look at the search convos. You search the choice metadatas, but you do search the body metadatas. Okay, so that is never used. So get third speaker is never used. Get third speaker name. Let's search it one more time just to verify. Completed search, it's never used. Check node for speaker. Also never used. Is can speak involved? Let me search this one. Also never used. I find this hard to believe that none of these are. Oh, this is all part of the conversation. Let's see. Set bool. No, actually, that one's probably never used either. Quest complete. Surely this one's used. I'm just going to sanity check. Okay, so we have tons of conversations that use that, as I expect. So I just don't want to code something that somebody else has already coded. So let me go back to third speaker. So we look in the game object finder. Then we get the can speak component. I feel like we're going to have to make another kind of third speaker call. So let's go metadata processor, because we already have it checked out. So let's go third speaker by VO name. And then we're gonna, what are we searching through here? The game object finder, okay. Why are we looping? Oh, we're looping through the arguments. Oh, okay, because you can have multiple people? What? Oh, you can put multiple names in third speaker. Okay. We have already been through this before. We've already done this rodeo. We've already made a solution for it. Of course we have. I knew we would have. All right. Third speaker can take multiple arguments, which means that we can just put all of the names of the different people in here. So we do need to rename all these mofos. It is going to take a long time, but I am going to do it. The only problem is we just need to, like, every single conversation where we have these third speakers, we need to make sure we're fixing them all, which is just, oh man, it's a lot of bugs that can happen. This is a mountain. This is a mountain of a task. I should probably assign it to Jenny. I should assign it to Jenny. I should. Yep. The question is, how much should I backpedal on this? Let's see. Let's go to our outdoor class. Okay. Yeah, this is better to assign to Jenny. That's fine. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that child 2 is not, we can actually revert this, revert all. Wait, control Z that. Because it seems like we had a lot of stuff here. A lot of new setups and stuff. So I guess I don't know why we have so many changes there, but anyway, child 2. You. Let's remove this suffix. And remove this one. That's all. So I need to make a new card. That has all this information. And we'll call it the Ochre class. Oh no, we already have a card for it, seasonal arrangements, so. This task is kind of a monster. I have created the different arrangements. but the conversations will need, but the conversations and need work. Let's see. I'm going to just summarize the important parts. Summer and fall arrangements don't have conversations. For the kids, I wrote seasonal branches for Kalula. So if you interact with the kids and you have no quest related options for Mud Pie or Theo's gift. Now, I don't know if it's possible for Mud Pie, and you have no quest option for Mud Pie. It should interact with Kalula. If you do, it should offer the player the Mud Pie option or to say bye. To get Kalula's line, in that case, you'd have to talk directly to Kalula. All right. And that is how it's going to be. So the important points is that no matter, actually, let me just take inventory. So there's winter has special conversations. Spring has special conversations. For the kids, I'll say the kids have special convos for spring and winter. Only. In fall and summer, if you speak with them, it should relay the interaction to Kalula. But kids still need to access their Mud Pie branch in their hub. In their hubs? Is it a hub? Let's see. Where's our child 2 conversation? There's Fairy Child. See if the Fairy Child has a winter version. See if Jacqueline wrote it. We will need to update to make sure all the kids have their winter kids class convos. Okay, this is actually literally so insanely complicated. This is one of the most insanely complicated sections of the whole game. Okay, let's see. Let's catch up with chat. Jay Echo says, I've not dealt with dialogue in my game dev journey. Dialogue's actually very easy, but this is beyond dialogue. Jay Echo, Jenny, my spouse is Jacqueline. Jenny's our coder. All right. Thanks for dropping by, J Echo. See ya. Unity 2019, haven't seen this version being used in a very long time. It's now just Unity 6 and it's bloated crap. Well, that's not good. Koi Koopa says, yesterday you mentioned you wrote the dialogue plugin. I am asking to learn, is it something too hard to do these kinds of things by yourself? I mean, is it too complicated thing to do? To write a dialogue tool? No. Writing a dialogue tool is pretty easy, honestly. I think it took me like a week. Koi Koopa says, I am scared about not being able to do it when I face such a thing if I work in Unity. Hey, Werbus. I didn't have too much trouble writing a dialogue tool. The difficulties I'm coming up against now have nothing to do with the tool and everything to do with how insane we have made this on ourselves. But let's see if Jenny can sort it. I mean, I could probably sort it if I keep cracking, but I'm just gonna hand this off to her. Trying to learn how to delegate here. Access their MudPy branches. Come on, where's the emoji? Kids have special convos for spring and winter only. In fall and summer, if you speak with them, it should relay the interaction to Kalula, who is the only one with summer and fall convos. So Kalula should have her own convos. Okay, but she doesn't. So this is absolutely effed. This is completely effed. So what are we doing here? I wrote seasonal branches for Kalula to Kalula, who has seasonal branches. Okay, so that's why Kalula is not speaking, because she has seasonal branches. So there we go. Who is the only one with branches with seasonal branches for summer and fall. I'm going to keep this the same. In summer and fall. Okay. In summer and fall, if you speak with them, it should relay the interaction to Kalula, who is the only one with seasonal branches for summer and fall. But kids still need to access their MudPy branches. I'm pretty sure if you set it up like I did for Fairy Child 0. And do they actually have conversations, or do they just have branches? Let's see. Kids have special convos. Let me actually check that. Do they actually have special convos? We'll need to update to make sure all the kids have their Winter Kids class convos. And can be asked about Theo's gift following that. So what about Fairy Child's? For Theo's gifts. I don't see anything about Fairy Child Theo's gift. So how are we asking about Theo's gift? There's a mud pie delivery. Let me look at another child. What about, who are you? Child 2. Are you actually Theo? No, you're not Theo. That's fine. I just want to see all of the conversations related to child 2. And we're just going to constrain it to conversations. So there's no conversation about child 2. So what conversation are you using? Okay, there literally is no conversation with this child. So how does this child even speak about Theo's gift? Got it. It might help if I actually do the mud pie quest. I don't know how else to figure this out because I'm just getting increasingly lost. So all of these people just interact directly with Kalula. Let me look for child 3. Okay. Okay, you know what? I'm pretty much over this. So let's see if there's a mud pie vendor. I could be flying if not for this. Mud pie time, game start settings. Let's see. Do we use a start setting for this? Yes, we use a start position. So in theory, I should be able to play the quest now with this. Let's check it out. Okay, let's see. Mossville says, how many games do you have wishlisted? Up to around 200. Wow. First wishlisted game. New to Steam then, Danvis. I don't know how many games I have wishlisted.
I always see you running around
Probably
all over the
100.
place. Do you think you could drop off a few pies for me? I'm already so busy. I don't have time for things like that.
Why is her dialogue bubble so high?
5,000 gold.
Oh, she needs to voice pretend gold. Okay. She definitely needs to voice pretend gold. Let me open up the voice. Is it VA? Let's go to Google Drive. Oh my God, no. Drive. Let's go to VA. Not cast tracker. Come on. Fixes? Fixes? Come on. VO fixes. We called it VO, not VA. All right, so I'll
Well
say no
then,
way.
Good day. I always see you running around all over the place. 5,000 gold.
All right, so let's see. I want the debug that shows the convo indicator. I want to turn it on. And show conversation. Let's see. It must be looking at a bool. It's called convo debug. I'll just go home.
Well then.
Set bool. Convo debug.
I always
go.
see you running around 5,000 gold.
Okay. 6HD-NN like that. So let's type that in. Mud pie vendor, right? 6HD dash NN. Pretend gold, and we were not clear about that. Needs to be voiced. Okay.
Our pies have become very popular lately. And here's the list.
All right, so if I don't remember to do this, I'm going to forget. So I have to go and I have to lower her speech bubble a little bit. Otherwise, I'm going to forget. I just will. Danva says, I didn't know it actually helped out game devs. It doesn't really help out game devs. It just so happens that the forces that drive wish lists are the same forces that tend to result in sales. So if a lot of people click wish list, then it's highly likely that a lot of people are going to be clicking buy. But we've become so obsessed with wish lists as a metric for predicting sales that many devs try very hard to drive the wish list. Like, it's their call to action. It's our call to action too, just because it's the best way to not lose somebody who potentially would be interested in your game. They get an email when your game comes out. So that's why we drive the wish list. But it doesn't help the dev in the sense, I mean, it helps the dev in the sense that you're going to get an email. So you're going to be less likely to miss the launch. But it doesn't help the devs in the way that some devs think it helps the devs. Like, it doesn't like actually boost your, I guess technically it does actually boost your visibility in like in certain lists, but yeah, I wouldn't just go around wish listing stuff just because you think that it will, like, you know, is throwing them a bone or something. I think if you just wish list the stuff you're genuinely interested in buying, then the system tends to work. But that's why everyone is always so wanting to get wish lists so bad, because they know that if they have a higher number, it's a good indicator that they're going to have more sales. It's not that the sales come because they had the wish lists. The sales come because people are interested in the game. And if people are interested in the game, you're going to tend to get a lot of wish lists. So there's a correlation there. Let's look at Chloe's little can speak. So she's got a really high speech bubble. I'm going to lower it significantly. And then I'm going to try again to do the quests. Wishlist is something Steam will remind you about when it's ready. Yeah, exactly. Gives a lot of visibility and lets you kickstart the recognition. Right. Just for that person though, it helps the devs because you, as someone who wishlisted the game, might buy the game. And you're less likely to forget about the game. That's kind of how it helps the devs. Let's see. Mossvale says, have you played Bust a Nut, a game about raising cocks? No, I have not. I've not played that. Louder says, since when you wishlist, all your friends see it and either buy it as well or be interested. Oh, yeah, maybe that's another reason. Okay, so maybe it helps the devs in that way.
I always see you running around all over the place. Okay. 5,000 gold. Our pies have become very popular lately. Here's the list.
All right, so here we go. Mud pie time. 07. Chloe asked me to deliver 7 mud pies for her. So Miss Marrowilds. Let me look at Marrowilds. Because Marrowild definitely will have a mud pie branch. So how are we doing this? Where is the hook for the mud pie? I don't even see it. I don't see a mud pie hook. It must be in the stub. Oh my god, the stub is insane. Marrowild stub. So where's the starting point for this conversation? What the hell? Oh, here it is. Okay. It's raining. Okay, let's assume it's not raining. I don't know. Cycle response. Here we go, mud pie delivery. So this is how we're doing the mud pie. So let's go to the fairy childs. So this is how we're doing the mud pie. Okay. So how are we doing the mud pie for the other kids? That's what I'm curious about. Actually, I could just warp to... So I could like warp to game object child 2. That'll probably take me to the wrong child too, but... Oh no, it didn't that time. So... Set timescale to 1. If I talk to her, is it going to break? Yes. It's really weird that that child 2 game object finder works. Very suspicious with that. Okay, but really, I want to know what's going on with here. Like, oh, they're all broken? I can't do the mud pie quest. They're all broken. Carter, D, Nora. Oh! Okay, so Nora and Theo. One sec. Okay, so Theo, Ivy, and Vivian. But right now they're all broken, so I wouldn't be able to tell what's going on with them anyway. What conversation do you have? So it just interacts with Kalula. And then once you interact with Kalula, what conversation does Kalula have? Kalula has Kalula 0. So then once you interact with Kalula 0, I don't understand how you're going to do the mud pie quest if it keeps redirecting you back to Kalula. I don't understand how anyone could have ever finished this quest. Do you just have to like give them the mud pie like this? Okay. I don't know how this quest ever worked. I have to ask Jacqueline. Oh, sorry. So sorry. Okay, so yeah, gonna have to liaison on this. Let's look at that card. The card. Um. First, there is a bug since we've duplicated the kids, and now there are some with the same name. Some duplicated the kids, and I think it's making issues with the game object finder that results in a bug in CanSpeak. We can rename them all unique and use the multiple arguments in third speaker to look for any of them, or if you have some easier way. Okay. Then eventually they're Theo's gifts convos as well. Let me just delete that. I'm going to talk to her tonight about that. Okay, so, and then I'll put that at the top of her list and then we'll talk about it. So then I'm going to just let that go and we'll convene on that. And I'm just going to check in seasonal ochre class arrangements nightmares. Submit. All right, there we go. Very good. Okay, so that's that. And then let's check our list. I would like to do one more. Pricing for shed upgrades I can definitely expose to Jacqueline. So let's just look at shed upgrades. Shed upgrade variant, shed upgrade book. That's a prefab. Okay, it's literally just a book. Shed upgrades book. Interactive. And it doesn't open a book or anything like that. So I don't know actually what it hooks to. There's the shed upgrade UI. Let's take a look at that. Shed upgrader. That seems promising. It has nothing in it. Shed upgrader. Okay. Is there anything about a shed? How is this hard? Let's go. Let's look for upgrades. Upgrade. No. Shed. Garden shed interior. It's I would think it would be something in the UI. New shed remodeling UI. That's got to be it. There it is. Here's the shed remodeling UI, and then I look through the game view. There it is. There's all the stuff, and then the shed remodels. So we have all these remodeling entries, and what are they? They're tied to. There's remodel price. Those are just walls, though. Okay, so that is where all the prices live. So I'll just need to give that to Jack and she can decide on the prices. Maybe we can do that together. So I'll have to summon Jacqueline to do some of that with me, and then we'll be done with that. Okay, so that just is a summoning. Is there anything else I can do? The ingredient for all the habitat craftables need choosing. That is a monster. Potion of Mole book needs to be edited and given potion as well. So let's look at the potion of Mole. Maybe I'll give all the recipes. Let's turn on developer start settings. And let's see what we've got in there. Okay. Give all recipes. Let's take a look at what Potion of Mole currently asks for. Potion of Mole. And I think we chose that on purpose now. So we've got these 2 snap taters, the ghost room, and the amber dragon. Let's see if we have the book of the mole or something like that. No, it's called The Secret Lives of Moles. Well, that's the name of the icon anyway. Mole? Anything about a mole? Item data? Okay, we literally have Secret Lives of Moles. Then we have Potion of the Mole. Okay, that's an item, but what we need is the book. So give item, Secret Lives of Moles, 1. Now we have the book. Mole potion recipe. Okay, so we just need to add it. That's easy enough. I can do that. So here's the Secret Lives of Moles, and then we'll check it out, and I'll check for the actual prefab, which I will check out. And then I will open this prefab, and then I'll turn on 2D view, and I'll make sure that we're not hiding our UI. Look at that. It's already been updated. It's 2 snap taters, 1 amber dragon. So we've updated the body there, but for some reason, I guess probably the loc, I'm going to put a little X here. I think we're having some issues with the loc. So in theory, I will update this in the loc sheet. 1X amber dragon. It should just be like mole-like as possible. So let's look at mole-like. It's not actually in the loc sheet. Is that true? This is pointing to who? To what? Secret Lives of Moles. So let's search for that exact ID. There it is. To live an authentically moley life. So I don't know which one is the most up-to-date version of that. I'll have to ask Jacqueline which one. So that's another thing to ask her about. So we need a little meeting. But then it's just those 3 cards at the bottom. Ghost Shed Final Props, Fall Decor, we can do that. But I think for now, I'm going to have to call it a stream. Yeah. If you're new to the stream, please check out our game. It's called Songs of Glimmerwick. It's a Witch Academy RPG where the magic of the world is music. And it's in Next Fest right now, and you can play it. It has a demo. So go try it out if you haven't already. And I want to thank everyone for hanging out with me, and hopefully I'll catch some of y'all next time. All right, see ya.